Welcome to Just Vibey Vibes. Welcome. Let's talk about entitlement. The reason why I'm talking about entitlement today is because for some reason I've just been hearing about some things, seeing some things that I realize that some people do not understand that they should not be entitled to things. So, because it's not their birthright, and they don't have any rights over it, which is actually the meaning of entitlement. Okay, so now let's talk about entitlement. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the difference between entitlement and privilege, because some people, things that they are privileged to, they assume that they have this entitlement towards their privileges, when it's supposed to be like, when you're privileged to something, you're supposed to be grateful for it, you're supposed to be thankful for it, because it is you're just privileged to have it. But then some people take their privileges as their entitlements. So today we're going to break it down, and then we're going to talk about it. And hopefully nobody listening to me is one of those. And if you are, then you're learning. And if you're someone that you're giving someone a special privilege and they think that they're entitled to it, now you know, so that you can maybe put them on a check, so that they can understand that this is a privilege, or is like, it's not your rights, so you're not entitled to it. For instance, let's talk about things that you're entitled to. You're entitled to your salary. When you work, you're entitled to get paid. Now that's not a privilege. Now that is not someone helping you. So when your employer pays you your salary, you don't go and say thank you for my salary. No, because you are you have the right to your salary because you've done the job, so they're not helping you. And this part of the employer part, I think that goes more for people in Africa, because sometimes you work for someone and they think that they're doing you a favor. So if someone is your staff, then it is their entitlement to the things that have been decided, the contract that you have signed. You are not doing them a favor. They're not privileged to it. It is their entitlement, their right to it. Okay, but that's not even really the main focus of this. It's because I see a lot of entitled people. For instance, let's talk about things that you're not entitled to. You're not entitled to your parents' money. You're not entitled to it. There are so many people that actually willed out all their wealth to charity and not their children. So you are privileged to be born maybe into a household that has money. And if your parents, or you put you in their will or leave things for you, that is your privilege. That means you're lucky to have that. So you should be grateful for that, because they're doing you a favor by giving you things that will help you in life. Now that is a privilege, not an entitlement. But now you're entitled to anything you yourself work for. Do you understand that? Okay, so to be honest, I cannot stand entitled people that are not grateful for things the way they are. They just feel like, oh yeah, I should have that. I'm gonna tell one story. I remember when I had a scholarship. That's how I came to the UK. So we got the scholarship, and we got here. I know, as in the true Nigerian style of things, sometimes they will not pay us our allowance that they were supposed to pay us every month, and I don't know, pay us for like 3 months in a row. They've not paid us. And I remember once there was this guy that came with me, and one time he was so angry, and he was, I don't know, he was like, oh, it is his right for him to get that, it is right for him to be in the UK studying, it is his right. I'm like, nope, you're privileged to be here, it's not your right. Because I do understand that, yeah, nobody is using that personal money to send you here, it's the government money, but they're not sending everybody here. If it is your right, then every Rivers person, it would have been their right for them to be here. It's a privilege that select few through exams, and some true man no man were being sent abroad to study. It is not your right. It is not your right. You're privileged and lucky to have gotten that chance. It was not your right. So he was like, it's my right, it's not my money. Is it? How many of your money do you not even see? Like, literally, how many people have seen that money that you're talking about? How many? So in life, we need to learn how to be more grateful for things, and to leave this entitlement behavior, and to be more content with things that we have. Because I cannot say enough this contentment thing. I know, like most of my videos, if you watch different videos, I just always talk about it because I don't see not being content that much in the UK, if I'm being honest. What I see here mostly is that people do work hard and they're entitled to the things that they have, and they work hard, and they might want more, but they are okay, like, you know what I mean, they are appreciative of where they are, and like they can work harder to get farther. I do not see lots of entitled people here. But if I move now over the coast to my continent, I see a lot of entitlement, and I feel like most of those entitlement comes from people being brought up, because we have this family system. And I know there's some people in the UK that have that people think that they're entitled to the things that they have. It's kind of like, oh, we have this family system, this extended family, whereby anything you have, like, you know, like if you're well to do, or if you're doing better, then you carry your brothers and your sisters and your cousins and everybody along. So now people have forgotten that you are doing them a favor. Now they feel that they have the right to it. You see someone, they will say, oh, this my brother is very stingy, oh, he doesn't help, oh, he doesn't, oh, he's very stingy, very wicked, very, he cannot even do this. Or someone will say, come on, this you cannot give me. Or you can give someone some money and they feel like you should have given them more because what you've given them is too little. You see, that sense of entitlement needs to die. And I don't care what makes you have it. Like, I don't know if it is how you were brought up, but it's something that if you have it, you need to kill it. And if you have people around you that have it, then you need to teach them. Because I believe you need to teach people things. Because sometimes people don't know something, you need to teach them. So I feel like, for instance, if someone feels entitled to something, you need to make them know that they're not entitled to it, sometimes by not giving it to them. Because when you don't give it to them for a while, then they will know. Because I know, like, for instance, like, you can have some people that they will ask for something, and the moment you do it for them, then they don't call you to tell you thank you, they don't call you to say they've seen it, they don't call you for nothing. It's kind of like you don't call your employer to say, I've seen my salary. No, you don't do that. Because it's entitlement. So if someone does something for you, then you call them to say thank you. Because what? It's a privilege that you have that. The person is helping you. So you understand? So this entitled thing is too much, especially, I would say, especially in Africa. I know this is not a Raising Africa series, but I want to talk about entitlement just by talking about entitlement. So because I do not want, like, it's not only, and people are entitled to a lot of places. Some people they feel entitled to what their parents have. Some will feel like, oh yes, it's my parents' one, so it belongs to me. Nope, it doesn't belong to you. So we need to start understanding when we have grace, when we have privileges in our life, when we are being given something, so that we can know how to be thankful for them, and not be feeling, if you have an entitled attitude, then I just feel like you don't even go far in life, because people can see it, and then it is like you're not entitled to nothing. Like, for instance, if you're a politician, you feel like, oh, you're entitled to votes. No, you're not. People will decide if they want to give it to you. So people that have entitled feelings and like that are entitled human beings. They end up always feeling like they end up feeling, I don't want to say used, but they end up feeling that someone is like they're being wronged. They end up feeling like someone is taking advantage of them sometimes. Like, oh, they're not giving them their due. Yeah, they always feel wrong because they feel like they're not giving them their due. For instance, let's say your father owns a company, and then you think that you should be the CEO of the company. I know that back home we do a lot of nepotism. Everywhere they do nepotism too. But if your parents can see that you're not fit yet to be it, then they're not going to give you that. Maybe they're going to start you from the bottom, then upward. You know what I mean? You start from the bottom, then you go up. So they might not give it to you just because they feel like you're not ready for it yet. And some parents don't give it to you because they feel like you're going to just squander their this, or maybe it's going to make you not be hardworking enough. There's so many rich people in this world that don't leave their things for their children. They don't give their children nothing. The children already know, so then they have to work hard, because now you have the connections, you have the name, you have everything. So if you work hard enough, then you can be able to get your own. I'm not saying, I believe in generational wealth. I do not believe that parents should not leave their things for their children. I feel like when you work hard, you leave it for your children, and then you pass it down, and then you build generational wealth so that your family, you know what I mean? I don't know. I believe in that. I don't understand it when people actually do leave their things to charity. I do not get it. That's me. And why I'm saying that it does happen, because it is not your birthright. So this is just like to let people know that when you start thinking that something is your birthright, it is not. you're not entitled to nothing. Or unless anything you actually work for. There's nothing you're entitled to. Nothing is your right. So literally, I don't know, what is your right? Right to breathe air? You could die any moment. Yeah, nothing literally is your right. Like, you have to work for things, then you're entitled to them. Things that you own, things that are yours, then you're entitled to them. But this entitled feeling, like, I don't want to make it too much into an African thing. So that's why maybe I'm just trying to explain it, because some people have it in them but they don't know. And some people that feel like, oh, they're entitled to maybe a promotion because they've worked hard for the promotion. Yeah, but still they might not give it to you, because at the end of the day it's still not your right. You understand? You might even be the best worker. Like, some people are the best, but then they keep on missing out on promotions, because at the end of the day they're not entitled to it. You can work for it, but you're not entitled to it. So if people the reason why I'm talking about it, if people share this entitlement feeling, then they can maybe become more successful in life. Because some people feel so entitled to things that are not theirs, it stops them from growing, because they already feel like, oh, I have this already, so what am I doing that for? But it's not yours. So go and get yours. What belongs to your brother is not yours. What belongs to your sister is not yours. What belongs to your parents is not yours. What belongs to any other person is not yours. What belongs to you is yours. So you need to learn that. And we need to know when to be grateful and when to be entitled to things. Because sometimes I feel like sometimes we have the misplaced priority. There are some things that you should be entitled to. Like from your government, like, okay, like a lot of people are always talking again about their government, because nowadays it's like lots of people's voices are coming out because of social media. And yeah, you're entitled to good road. You're entitled to that. Entitled to electricity. For them to be able to provide it for you, then you're supposed to be able to pay for it. You see? If you cannot pay for it, then you don't get it. But at least the providing of it, you know? So there's some things that you're entitled of from your government, like, you know, like they are supposed to be entitled to, like housing, because they're supposed, not entitled per se, but they're supposed to provide it. And if you meet the criteria, because they might have different criteria, then when you meet those criteria, then you get it. All those things are actually privileges, to be honest. But there are some things that you're entitled to, but then there are some things that you're not entitled to. So we need to understand that, you know. So that is all I'm going to say for today on this entitlement. And I hope, like, you just check yourself and see, do I have entitled behavior? Do I feel like things that it's my right to things that are not mine? If you do feel that way, then stop, because entitlement comes with greed too. So some people, because they feel entitled, they become greedy. You're putting your eye, because when you put your eye in somebody else's thing that is not yours, that's greed. Like, you want something that is not yours, like it does not belong to you, but you're seeing how they should share it. It's kind of like someone looking at someone's salary, looking at what you feel like you are entitled to get a particular amount of money that you did not work for. That's greed. So entitlement and greed works hand in hand. They work hand in hand. And sometimes entitlement even breeds laziness. So just check yourself. Do you feel entitled to things? Do you feel like things should be handed to you? Because this life we are in, this world we're living in, is not an easy world. So feeling entitled, it's not going to take you nowhere. You have to work hard for whatever you want. Sometimes you see like some people that are already successful, and then you see that their parents are already successful, and maybe the parents are going to even live things. So then you see the children, they're still working hard for things, and some people are like, oh, only them, they want everything. No, they are working for their thing because they don't feel entitled to it. You know, because they feel like, okay, now my dad has done up to here, let me add value to it. You know? So entitlement, I feel like if you have the spirit of entitlement in you, then it's something that you should kill, because it's a very, very bad feeling to have. If you have children, don't watch them. Do they feel entitled? Do they feel like something is better? You need to teach them. This is the time you need to educate them. Let them know that, okay, this thing that is happening, you're getting it because I am giving it to you. Is a privilege. Even being there in their life is a privilege, because there are some parents that are not in their children's life. They're not entitled to that. I don't know, is anybody really entitled to good parenting? You're just lucky that you have good parents. You're privileged that God gave you good parents. Because the people that don't have good parents, God, what would they do? There's some people that they are the ones that take care of their parents, because their parents are addicts, they are drunkards, they come to the house, they sleep. The children are the one even parenting the parents. So what is their entitlement then? So we need to be able to differentiate between things that we're entitled to, and things that we are privileged to, things that we should be thankful for, and things that we should know that, okay, we've worked hard. Even if you work hard and you get things, sometimes like normally you just be thankful for it still, but at least you know that it is your entitlement. We need to know our entitlement, because sometimes things that we are entitled to, we don't go after them. We don't tell people, oh yeah, this is my entitlement, this is my right to this. You know, those ones we don't talk. The ones that are not our rights, those are the ones that we think is our rights. So we need to work on that. We need to understand that, so that we can stay away from greed and have more contentment in our life. So that's all I want to talk about today. I hope this helps in one way or another. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.